Då är det dags för Swebb TV ekonomimagasin.
Swebb TV is the Swedish government's media undercover outlet, and Swebb TV has in the last 2 weeks in a series of video blogs publicly questioned the American ability to pay its debt and is now publicly speculating that America, under the leadership of Donald J. Trump, will devalue its dollar at the 4th of July 2026 by publicly increasing the value of gold.
Title: The noose is tightened around the US dollar. America and the dollar is losing global trust. How the Fed will handle USA's enormous debt. Enormous US dollar devaluation, 4th of July 2026.
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
President Nixon decoupled the US dollar from gold, enabling theft through inflation. Donald J. Trump will reintroduce the gold standard, enabling theft yet again. A central bank has but one purpose, and that is to steal and plunder from its respective territory. And the return to gold standard will be the history's greatest, most successful plunder. And you protect yourself by immediately selling shares, bonds, all kinds of paper. You empty your bank account and you buy physical gold and silver. Immediately.
I myself expect that Donald J. Trump, together with the chair of the Federal Reserve, will give a press conference at the 4th of July 2026 in which Donald J. Trump will say the dollar is now revalued. Swebb TV has publicly stated they expect the price 25,000 US dollar per ounce. I expect 100,000 US dollar per ounce. The bookkeeping value of gold is 44 US dollars per ounce at the Treasury, and if it's revalued to $100,000 per ounce, America has no more debt. However, there is a moral dimension to this. It will be the greatest economic crime in human history.
We're going to stand this thing up within the next 12 months. We're going to monetize the asset side of the U.S. balance sheet for the American people. We're going to put the assets to work, and I think it's going to be very exciting. We're going to study best practices as done around the world. It'll be a combination of liquid assets, assets that we have in this country as we work to bring them out for the American people.
All right, you heard it there. I mean, some say this translates to the U.S. Treasury revaluing the 8,000 plus tons of gold to market value, which would be normal worldwide. Of course, hundreds of billions of dollars to the balance sheet that would bring. We know that the U.S. Treasury currently values it at about $42, totaling $10 billion on the books. Current market rates at about $800 billion if we look at $2,900 gold.
The math problem is so large and so beyond control that you'd literally have to revalue gold over $100,000 an ounce to fix the fiscal problems in the United States. Now, what that would do, obviously, would re-liquefy central banks all over the world.
This is what happens to the spot price of gold and then ultimately to the value of gold when they reset, when enough confidence from the public is lost and they need to regain that confidence. And you can see, doesn't it all look the same? I could put up 1,000 charts. They all look the same. So they suppress the price, but then when they need to regain your confidence, they do those overnight revaluations, right? There are strategies all around that.
Using the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which he can do. Revalue the gold to $100,000 an ounce, okay?
Obviously, this was prepared already in 1914, where the criminal enterprise, the US Federal Reserve Bank, was created.
Brought to you by Fritz Persson, Sweden.